I would like to invite Prof. Kamil for the comments on the Paugi presentations. Please, Prof. Kamil. You may take down the share screen, Paugi. Stop your screen.
All right.
Go ahead, Prof. Kamil.
Thank you very much, Prof. Raditya, and also I'd like to thank Pak Ugi for the nice presentation made. So let me start with the flow of the way the main arguments put forward. Yeah, the first thing is when the Prophet ﷺ accepted the Persian, the Roman dinar and the Persian drachma or dirham. Yeah, it's so clear to me that because these two items were something fair, adil, in exchange, so it is naturally Prophet ﷺ did not have to change that, right? So the Prophet ﷺ accepted the thing. But when you look at the time when the later part when it's mentioned that like Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab wanted to make skin of the camel as money, then he didn't do it. Okay, he didn't do it. Why? Because people say then the camels will become extinct, right? So we need to understand, can we use camel skin as money? Of course can. If I say camel skin, this thing, okay, this is the camel, I roll the camel skin, okay, this is money, and then you accept my camel skin for, let's say you are selling some food, I give you the camel skin, and then if I take the food from you, it's fine. You are accepting the camel skin at the but you have to accept the camel skin as the value of the camel skin. You cannot just make a small piece of camel skin and then say this is equivalent to 1 dinar. You cannot say that. If you roll the camel skin, this camel skin, so much of camel skin goes to so much of wheat. Then bail. Get it or not? But you have to give the value of the camel skin. You cannot take the camel skin and put a value on it, stamp on it. This is 1 dinar or 10 dinar, like that. That is the problem. Understand? Okay. So if by the will of people they all accept something as money, then that is money. But the people must decide on their own. You cannot force it on people then, because if you force it on people, there may be some injustice being done. That is the problem when we see legal tender. Why the paper money is a problem? Because it's forced on you. It's by law you have to accept. That's where the problem lies. So when we say a piece of paper is 1 million rupiah, okay, it's money. But can you and me print it? Oh, that's wrong, That's where the problem comes. Why it is wrong? Everybody loves money. Why can't I print money? Oh, because it gives you additional advantage if you print it on your own, you see. That's where the problem lies, okay? So when Augie said material is not important, I totally agree. If you go 20 years into my works, I've never said only gold and silver. I always use the word real money, but gold and silver will dominate naturally because these are metals. You want to use palm oil as money, okay? You want to use petroleum as money, like Venezuela, Venezuela created cryptocurrency backed by its petroleum. That's fine because you're backing it with petroleum. So it's basically petroleum, you see. So the monetary, what you use, the material is the material, okay? But let people choose on their own so that transactions are fair. All transactions, you must let people choose on their own, okay? So that is any. So when we ask, so ultimately, when you look into in detail, when, for example, Malaysia was stopped by, to use gold for trade settlement, IMF is stopping countries to, countries to settle gold in using gold for trade settlement. IMF also, right? When you notice when Gaddafi, when he wanted to come up with the Pan-African gold currency, he and his entire country got this thing. So you'll realize there's something economics about it and there's something politics about it. You see, I can justify gold from economically, historically, from religious perspective, from scientific perspective and so on. But I cannot justify it today on political perspective. Because if Malaysia goes and says, we want to go and establish gold as money, then some forces will come and destroy your country. See that? So you need to realize there is a difference between economics, scientific, and that that will answer the question, Pauki, why some scholars they did not discuss it even in their books. Go back and think about it. Yeah. So my way of looking at this thing is, because to be frank, this thing is the maqasid sharia. I will always see whether whatever you say is contributing to the maqasid or not. When I see the paper money is actually preventing the attainment of the maqasid, then I would say it is something un-Islamic. If there's something that contributes towards the attainment of maqasid, then I'll say that's an Islamic thing. So why I would say it is un-Islamic, this paper money, because it actually prevents you from attaining the maqasid sharia. You will find the people in this society will become, many majority will become poorer and poorer, and there will be some, a small group will become extremely rich in the stock system. Okay, so that is one of this thing. So in my understanding of all these things, when I see like the presentation of this thing, like the fractional reserve banking, it is okay. It's only because fractional reserve is created through interest. There's a problem. There is actually, in a way, there is some truth, but I'll tell you what it is. People cannot see the truth is this. Credit in Islam is not haram, but interest-based credit is the problem. So if I buy something from you and I say I'll pay you end of the month, okay, and then this thing, that is totally allowed. That is credit. I have a credit with you. Now, if I buy something from you on credit, and then I give you a piece of paper that says I owe you so much money, by end of the month I'll pay you, and I'm let's say a very well-known person in society. So you can use the money, the paper I gave you. You can use it as money elsewhere. Yeah, Prof. Kamil will pay at the end of the month. This is his promise. I use this to buy some things from you. That credit is actually allowed in Islam to circulate as money. You see that? So the problem is so credit and credit can be net off. That's where like a credit card system. Let's say there's a credit card system where there's no interest is charged. You can use the credit card, and at the end of the month, you just pay off. There's no interest charge on you. That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay in Islamic, this thing. So what we do is, if I buy from you on credit, and then you also buy from me credit, we can net off the credit and credit, we settle the difference. We settle the difference. That's netting. That's in Sharia is muqassa. Muqassa is allowed in Islamic Sharia. So I'm for it, fully for muqassa as a method of settling. That we use credit as money, but interest-free. Interest, and we can net off and that can actually bring a lot of benefits. When Tun Mahathir said, let's settle the international trade balance using gold, by using bilateral and multilateral payment arrangement, he's actually talking about netting system using gold. So if I may tell, what is the ultimate thing I'm telling is that we will use gold, silver, or wheat, or petroleum, or any commodity just as a measure of value. That's exactly what Imam Ghazali is mentioning actually. If you read carefully what Imam is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created gold and silver as a measure of value. By itself, it has no value. You can't eat, if you have gold with you and then you are in an island all by your own, there's no other food, you cannot eat the gold. How much gold you have also, you will die, is it? So it has no essence to us, yes, but it is a good measure of value in economic transactions. That is what we're looking at. What is missing in the present monetary system is that there is no stable measure of value. I'll repeat that. So ultimately, what we are fighting for this thing is that we want to bring gold, commodity, or petroleum, or whatever it is, as a measure of value. That is the missing point. When we say this is a meter, the meter is a standard for length. It's a standard of length in Indonesia, it's a standard of length in Malaysia, America, everywhere. It is the same length. Yesterday, today, it's the same length. So it becomes a measure of length. When you have, let's say, a weight of kilogram, for example, A kilogram in Indonesia, kilogram in Malaysia must be the same. Kilogram in China must be the same. Kilogram yesterday, kilogram today, kilogram 1 year of today must be same. So it becomes a measure of weight for economic transaction. The problem with money is that the rupiah is a different value yesterday, different value today. The ringgit is every moment is moving up and down, but it's a measure of value. How can it be a measure of value when its own value is all the time, jumping up and down? You see, why the value is jumping up and down? Because there's no backing. You see,
We have
the
1
moment-
minute, Prof.
Yes, thanks. So the moment you back money to a gold or silver or anything that's redeemable, it becomes perfectly acceptable in Islam. It becomes a measure of value that is stable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Kamil. So the important one is the last one, the measure of value,
Measure of
the
value.
currency, which is a measure of value. Prof. Gi, you have 10 minutes to comment on everything that has been said by Prof. Kamil. Go ahead, Prof. Gi.
Yeah, I think I'm glad actually to hear from Professor Kamil that you actually do not question the materiality of the money itself. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm glad actually. Why? Because I have the impression that some of those who are what do you call it? insisting on the bimetallism, and they said that the only valid money should be gold and silver. And now, of course,
that I also don't agree. Yes, I agree. It has to be anything that fulfills the criteria for money. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Kamil. I think I agree with you on this issue. And the second thing is, again, I'm glad to hear from you that actually the issue is not about the fractional reserve banking. The issue is basically the interest. And you have given a very good example of let's say a credit card. If it is without the interest, the credit card will be fine. So the fractional reserve system is basically like giving loan, from the one who does not have money. For example, if I don't have money, and my friend is asking a loan from me because I have a pity on him, so I borrow, money from my friend to lend, my money, to him. But if I don't charge interest, and my friend also doesn't charge interest to me, that will be fine. So the issue here is not about the fractional reserve system. The issue is basically the ribawi, where you have a fractional reserve, and then when you give loan, when the bank is giving loan, the bank charges interest. That is basically the problem. Yeah, I think thank you very much, Professor Kamil, for highlighting onto those important issue for me like this. Now, yes, Prof.
Can I just this thing, Prof? I totally is good though when the slight difference when the money is actually created by the bank. Let me explain that. I can. You see, when I buy something from you, something physical or services given, then I owe you a good or services in return, right? So I actually take I give you a piece of paper that this is an IOU, and that IOU can move, right? It can move in this thing. But the problem with the banking system is that it is not giving you any good or service. It is actually creating the money out of nothing. That is a problem for me.
No, I think the issue is like this, Prof. Kamil. The bank, of course, does not create value from it. It is based on the deposit, right? No. That's why we call it the deposit creation, but it is a fractional reserve deposit. Fractional reserve deposit. Of course, the bank cannot give loan without a deposit, right? Can the bank give loan without deposit? Without any deposit? Cannot. But
actually,
the bank can create money from fractional deposit. So at least there must be a kind of deposit. Now, this is actually to me like, for example, I have nothing. I don't have money. And my poor friend is asking, let's say, wants to borrow money from me. I don't have money. Now, I can borrow money from my friend. This is perfectly legal. And this is perfectly shari, as long as my friend does not charge me interest. And I do not charge him interest. That is basically the issue. Now, if the bank, for example, is using fractional reserve system and the bank does not charge interest, that will be perfectly okay. Okay, it's like giving a credit card without charging interest. Isn't that so?
Slightly, there's a problem. You know why? For example, if you're saying fractional reserve is used to limit how much a bank can actually give out the loans, create money, okay? Create money. But in some instances, in some banks, they don't need any fractional reserve. The bank is allowed to create whatever amount that it can create. There's also in some countries like that. So you notice, in other words, fractional reserve is simply, if you come to me, I will put you on the debit side and credit side of the balance sheet in the book, accounting book. So when I put you on the credit side, well, now you can make payment. You're on the debit side, now you are debtor to me. It is just created like that.
Now, even if you do like that, if without interest, it is perfectly okay.
Okay, you see, when you say if you do it like that, it's perfectly okay. I agree with you. That is exactly what is credit card is.
Yes,
The
it is like credit card.
By giving
like
you a
credit
certain amount, you can spend. Yes. So if the bank is operating a credit card system like that, which is basically mukasa, then it's fine. You see?
Yeah,
If
but
operating a credit card system without interest,
yeah. Now,
that is
even
fine.
what we call it the fractional reserve, you see, bank is creating, but at the same time, bank is annihilating also. When the credit is paid back, so the money created by the bank is annihilated. But the issue here is with the interest, you see, because interest is additional money.
Correct.
Yeah, this is additional money in which you have to pay from your effort. This is the injustice. This is basically the issue. It's not the fractional reserve system itself.
Oh, okay, you are talking about the creation of money itself, the creation of money. No, you see, the giving of credit, that's fine. As I mentioned to you, it's fine because when someone is, given out good service, against the good service, the credit is created. But the bank itself is not giving. They're supposed to be just the account keeper. You're right. They're just supposed to be the account keeper between parties, but they're charging interest on it.
Yeah, this is basically the problem.
Now you see the Islamic bank, Islamic bank. How come they can create the money out of nothing and then buy a house for you and then sell to you at a profit?
Now, the difference is like this, because it is buying by credit. The conventional bank give loans not based on anything. It simply give money and then charging money. But Islamic bank at least there is underlying asset in it.
No,
okay, at least you buy houses. At least you buy vehicles.
No, it's not as easy as when the Islamic bank buys the house, where does the money come from?
Islamic bank is of course Islamic bank is getting money from the depositor.
No, that's where you're wrong. That's where sorry, Pauji. The depositor's money is not touched. They follow exactly the fractional reserve banking, just like the conventional bank. The money is created of nothing, but they buy asset and then they sell or whatever using the Islamic contracts. After the asset behind, the contracts are all Islamically correct. But the creation of money to start off the process, it is economically, and I think
no, when you say that the bank is creating out of nothing, it means that it is a debt. The bank is basically borrowing from something. The bank must pay. Eventually, the bank must pay its money. But the issue is the conventional bank is paying this creation of money through the interest.
I think Paugi, I just want to clarify on this.
Yeah, correct. This is the reason I mentioned that the Sharia and a lot of these things, they don't understand the mechanism of what is happening there. That is the reason.
We perfectly understand.
No, that is the reason the amount of money in the system is continuously growing at an exponential rate.
Yeah, because of the interest.
Okay.
No. It's not only the interest. It's the creation of the money by the banking system itself.
No,
Prof.
Professor
Kamil,
Kamil.
Pak Ugi,
Yeah.
hang on. We have very limited time. So Pak Ugi,
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to clarify because this need to have a clearer example. So Pak Ugi, can you share screen your slide on fractional reserve banking, which you mentioned that initial amount of money is like this, and then
Okay.
with the
Let
fractional
me share
reserve,
again. Yeah.